Hi everyone, and welcome back to Office Hours with Jess. So this is my last video that I'll be filming from my home in Irvine, California for the summer. I'm heading back to Boston to finish up my final year of my PhD. Exciting stuff. This week, I'm just going to tell you all a quick story. I haven't posted a video in a little bit, and that's because I've been dealing with this fun situation of getting a false positive COVID test. So essentially, when I came back from my Vegas trip, which you all knew I took, I had discussed with my family, like, I want to be careful. I know I'm doing this pretty high risk activity. So when we came back, we arranged that I was going to sort of isolate as much as possible without going overboard. So I was like masking around my parents, for the most part, staying in my room, not eating with my family, not going next door to my grandmother's house, and just being as careful as possible, washing my hands a lot, etc., etc. And I rapid tested every day and sort of monitored my symptoms. And every day I basically woke up kind of nervous, being like, okay, is today going to be the day that I feel symptoms or that my rapid test is like finally positive because I just went to Vegas. And every day I woke up, I was fine and my rapid tests were all negative. But being the good person I am, I still scheduled 2 PCR tests, actually, one on day 5 after Vegas and one on day 6 after Vegas. My first PCR test came back negative. So I was like, oh my God, I think I actually escaped going to Vegas without getting COVID. And I still haven't gotten COVID this entire pandemic. So I was just like, okay, this makes no sense, but hey, it happened. So after I got my first result back and it was negative and I was feeling fine, still rapid testing negative, I started intermixing with my family and acting like everything was normal. Of course, my second test then comes back positive and then I freak out because I'm like, oh my God, I just spent a whole day hanging out with my family, like hugging my grandma, like breathing in my cousin's face, like having dinner with my mom, like this is not okay. So I immediately went into like intense isolation, like didn't leave my room except to go get another PCR the next morning because my family was convinced that it was a false positive. And I was like, what are the chances of that happening? As someone like who is in public health and understands that false positives are not that common, I would, especially after having gone to Vegas, like I could think that I might have gotten it. You know, it's not like I was just carrying on to date with my day-to-day life. I was just participating in something high risk. So I was like, oh man, like I guess I have it and it's just asymptomatic. I'm still rapid testing negative. But whatever, it caused all this stress with my family. I was feeling guilty, just a lot of unknowns. And I was like, well, I don't even know if I have COVID yet, but I'm dealing with all of the stress that is kind of happening right now. And for some reason, that third PCR test took twice as long for the result to come back. So I was just waiting and anxious and like wanting to know and wanting to be able to carry on with life or know to like really isolate more. Again, still feeling completely symptomless and rapid testing negative. And then finally, like 3 days after I took the that third PCR, it came back and it was negative. So I just went through all of what I described to you for nothing, or I don't know. I still is a mystery to me whether it truly was a false positive or I just had like a 1%, like such a low, threshold of COVID that like some of my tests were coming back positive and some were negative, but none of my family got sick. I'm still not sick. So I don't really know. It's all a mystery to me. I don't really know if I have a takeaway or a lesson for this, but I just wanted to share this story with you all in case, COVID's definitely a wild card, and I experienced a very interesting situation in regards to it, but I plan on still staying safe. I'm anxious as we start the school year, and I, again, hope I don't get it once I return back to Boston as well. So stay safe, friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks.